Okay. Again, thank you very much, everyone who's here. This is our Inclusive Fun Fair event, and I want to send out a big thank you to all the providers that are here. If anybody is a provider and has just joined, please put your organization's name with your title among the participants, and that helps me identify who's a provider. So I am going to keep things short now, and I was going to ask our first organization, Via Services. I believe Kristen Jensen and Bill Morgan are here to talk about them, to talk about that fantastic organization. I will put a plug in. My son went to Via West for many years and absolutely loved it. It was one of the few places he really felt safe and participated in new activities. So yay, Via West. Just wanted to get that in. But I'm going to, I'm actually going to I'm not sure which of you is going to be speaking first, but I can spotlight whoever's speaking at a particular time. Just let me know.
I think Bill and I decided that I'll take the bulk of this, and there's a piece at the end I'll pass on to him.
Got it.
Yeah, and you said I can share my screen, right?
I believe yes.
That's what you prefer for me to do. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, hi everyone. Christine, thank you so much for having us. Love that this is called a fun fair because camp really should be fun. I'm Kirsten Jensen. I'm the Community Relations Manager for Via Services. And Bill, if you want to raise your hand, Bill is our Via West Campus Director Extraordinaire. And so together we're going to tell you a little bit about our program. So, you know, we have been providing camp experiences for people with special needs since 1945. We've been in business since 1945. Our mission is to empower people with disabilities and their families to grow, develop, and thrive by providing essential skill building, therapeutic, and recreational programs. And so Via West is what we call our campus in the Cupertino foothills, and we'll talk a little bit more about the campus. But on that campus, we have a couple of different programs that are running at our campsite. So the first one is Via West, that probably a lot of you are familiar with. Via West, most of the participants that come to Via West are regional center clients. That's not a requirement, but that's typically who is coming. And we provide respite camp experiences. So we have summer respite camp that goes all summer, and then fall through spring, we have weekend respite camps that start on a Friday at 5 p.m. and go to a Sunday at 3 p.m. These are for people ages 5 and up with intellectual developmental disabilities. And day options are available for weekends and summers. If you're not ready to have your child attend overnight, no problem. We are happy to do day service. That's just fine. We are ADA accredited and accessible. And then Altitude is another program that we run on the Via West campus. Next year, 22-23, we should have some weekends fall through spring. Right now, we're just offering our summer program. Altitude is for campers who are entering 6th through 12th grade. So it's a narrower age range. And these are people who have social cognitive challenges. We're providing a traditional camp experience. Most of our campers are diagnosed with autism, but we try not to get too hooked on labels. And an altitude camper is a person who has back and forth reciprocal conversational skills and a good emotional regulation. And we can also offer overnight and day programs there. We've got 13.5 acres in the foothills of Cupertino. We're out on Stevens Canyon Road, past the dam and the reservoir. And there are numerous outdoor activity areas. We've got 2 amphitheaters. We've got 2 swimming pools. We've got outside eating with a pergola and picnic benches, a fully accessible playground, hiking trails, a huge sports court, which is great for sports, but also for stargazing, And we've got a garden and greenhouse, so we can do some farm to table programming. And then our lodges are well ventilated, fully accessible. We've got a large main lodge that you would think of when you think of a traditional camp. There's a cafeteria in there, and we've got some activity buildings, some separate buildings for crafting. The art bark is what we call one of them, and that has a kiln. And the other one is really meant for performing arts, but they're both multi-purpose rooms. We don't have our summer dates and rates to release today. Thank you for your grace and your patience. We have been shut down for a long time, and we've got a new leadership team. We've needed a longer than anticipated runway to launch, but we will. The exciting news is we will have our dates and rates for summer 22 in the first week of February, and registration will open in March, and we hope to see you there. Here's your contacts. I know there's going to be a recording, and I'm also happy to share slides. The first contact is me. I'm the community relations manager. I'm the first point of contact for brand new families. So give me a call or send me an email. We can set up an assessment and chat. And then Bill Morgan, our camp director, handles everything safety, everything programming, the team up there. So if you've got questions for Bill, reach out. And then Kim is not here with us, but she's really the registration lady. So if you've come before and you want to come again and you're just trying to get signed up, Kim is your contact. I'm going to stop talking. The last slide is about our COVID protocols. I know everyone wants to know about safety, and I'm going to hand that over to our camp director, Bill Morgan.
All right, great. Thank you, Kirsten. One thing I also wanted to clarify, we are ACA, American Camp Association accredited, and we are fully ADA accessible. American Camp Association is a professional organization that accredits camps, and we're required to meet a variety of standards that focus around safety and also ensuring that our programs do what we say. And we really pride ourselves on being able to support people, and we can work with people that require one-to-one support. We have overnight awake supervision in the cabins as well. Some other little factors I just wanted to add in. And also when it says 5 on up, it's all the way on up. We have sessions geared for adults. So we have adults as old in the 60s and 70s even come to camp. And that's pretty exciting. COVID protocols, we are already operational. And so these are where we are right now. And just to realize, as we all have become aware that everything changes almost moment by moment. And so our protocols are really intended to change as new information becomes available. And so there is a possibility and we will communicate those out when there are changes. Currently, we are requiring all staff and program participants to be fully vaccinated. Staff will be required to be fully boosted by February 1st that are working. So as we're running our weekends right now, we have weekends already. Unfortunately, they're full. But by the summer as well, you can expect that all of our staff and participants are fully vaccinated. We are also checking people for potential COVID symptoms when checking in. Right now, we're requiring people to also do a rapid test, both our staff and our participants, to perform a rapid test at arrival. We are requiring masks, obviously, at all indoor spaces, and we strongly encourage outside as well. We do understand that some of our campers are gonna really struggle with understanding why or being able to maintain compliance with wearing a mask. And so that's why we also require that everybody's fully vaccinated as well. Most activities are gonna take place outside. We're doing a lot more distancing as well. So for example, our cabins are designed to accommodate 25 to 50 people each. And we are reducing that to cohorts of 10 to 12 at this time. And we intend to continue to keep the program smaller. Campers and staff are assigned cohorts where they, for the most part, will interact together just with that cohort. We've increased hand sanitation throughout the day. We have a facility crew and a housekeeping crew that are coming through and cleaning. We're also encouraging our staff that are providing direct care and our program staff to also provide help with that. And we understand, like, there's a lot of reasons why people may feel the reason to withdraw, even up to the last minute. And we really want to encourage, especially if people are not feeling well, for them not to be on campus. Also to understand if the anxiety that is the life that we are now living with, that you may think that you're comfortable with where we are right now. And then tomorrow feel, I don't know if being out around other people is where I want to be. So we're waiving our cancellation fees during the pandemic emergency as well. We wanted to keep it short so that way people would have opportunity to go and hear all the other great programs as well. And so this is pretty much wrapping up our presentation here.
All right, thank you so much, Bill. We did have one question in the chat about pricing. So there was pricing specified on the website, and is it per day, per week, per month? And Kirsten answered in the chat that those prices are per weekend. And I believe it's like, it's a 3-day weekend, right? Typically their program is like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Correct. So yes, that is correct. So in the fall, winter, and spring, we start our weekends in the late, early evening, late afternoon, around 5 to 7, and it will also include dinner. And then during the summer, though, we start earlier, late morning, early afternoon for check-in for the weekends. There will be 3-day sessions during the summer as well, and then they run until between 1 and 3 on Sunday.
And for those weekends, that it's when regional center funds it, because it starts late on that Friday and ends early on that Sunday, regional center is usually charging for it too. There's more details and specifics, but just FYI.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any other general questions that anyone had? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question, or raise your hand. I'm not seeing any questions. So then I'm going to thank you very much, both Bill and Kristen. Great presentation, very much appreciated. I am going to go ahead and go to Robert Field of Quest Camps.
Thank you very much. Quest has been in the Bay Area for 33 years now, and we have provided an innovative therapeutic program that 5 different research studies have found that we have a strong treatment effect at improving the emotional and social functioning of kids that come to our program. Our population tends to be a little different because we do blend kids with ADHD, anxiety, learning disabilities, as well as kids at the higher end of the autism spectrum. Our daily program is one where we have a variety of different camp activities. I'm going to share this with us. That's not it. I'm sorry. And it is a day camp. It runs from 9 to 3 o'clock due to COVID, so that we can maintain our cleanliness and sanitation. But basically, we're in the East Bay. We've prior been on the peninsula and plan to hopefully return next summer. We do have a ride service, Kango, who has been fantastic at coordinating our campers throughout the Bay Area and commuting them to our camp in Danville. The past 2 summers, we've been renting a facility where we've set up 13 by 13 shade structures for the separate groups, keeping the kids away from each other, but also providing the intensive therapeutic program that we do. Each child prior to coming to Quest is, as a new camper, is screened, and we develop individual behavior goals for each kid. We use a staff of primarily graduate students to provide the intervention services during activities, as well as we provide the hour of group therapy every day, the 5 therapists that run the program. Quest is fun. We want the kids to enjoy themselves. A lot of parents have said the great thing about Quest is the kids are having fun and don't realize they're getting therapy as well. Every hour of every day, they get feedback from their counselors on their successes, what we want them to work on, and then how many points they earn every hour. Those points also are given by parents. And at the end of every week, there's a large store with toys, gift cards, and a little bit of candy. So it's our carrot to keep kids motivated to keep on trying. And that's what they earn the points for, is trying to work on their goals. We basically break down emotional and social goals into smaller pieces, teach them the concepts, and then reintegrate it into the bigger picture. We want the kids to have the opportunity to do all kinds of activities. In the past, we've been able to go swimming. We've been able to provide field trips to Six Flags, the Exploratorium. As everybody knows, we're not sure what's going on at this point, but we're hoping to go back to that. Historically, we've been renting public schools in the San Ramon Valley Unified School District, and also Palo Alto when we were there, but we're still up in the air whether that's going to happen. We will start on June 13th and go for 7 weeks. Typically in the past, we've provided families the opportunity to start on any week. Because of COVID, though, we are developing cohorts. So kids come the first week of camp and can stay the 7 weeks. And then the second group can come on the 5th of July and stay 3 or 4 weeks. The program is available to regional center clients as respite care. It is also covered by medical insurance and ABA companies as a therapeutic intervention. So we really look forward to seeing the kids and getting them involved in our program and having a great time this summer.
Thank you so much, Robert. Fantastic presentation. Again, if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to type them in the chat or raise your hand with the reactions button. And we'll, again, general questions, please. If you have questions specific about your own situation, your own child or student, we can handle those at the end after our recording session is over. Okay, there will be another opportunity for questions later. If you think of anything in the meantime, feel free to type it in the chat or keep it. Oh, we've got the location is still to be announced.
Correct.
But it's usually in the Danville area, the Danville San Ramon area, correct?
Yes, we're hoping to return to the peninsula next summer.
Fantastic. So that was the next question. How can we find out when you will be returning to Palo Alto? So do you have any mailing lists or anything? How would anybody get on your announcement list?
If anybody wants to leave their email right now or reach me, I'll type that in, Dr. Bob Field at questcamps.com. And you can reach me there and we'll keep you informed of how our progress is going.
Okay, and one last question. What is the target age for Quest camps?
Quest goes 5 to 20. We found that a lot of the kids that are in need are adolescents, and then after 18, there aren't a lot of services for them. So we continue them into the program till about 20 years old. We call them our senior campers, and senior campers, in addition to the regular therapy camp program, also do fundraising for the community. They learned when COVID's not around, they become mentors for the youngest groups, and they also work on assisting the staff and the administration, and they get paid for that.
Fantastic. Great questions, people. Thank you, because that was a really interesting detail. So are any of these programs in the South Bay, San Jose, Los Gatos, or Santa Cruz? Not currently, correct?
That's right. But we have found great results with the Kango Kid Rise service. And we have kids coming from the peninsula, from the North Bay, from San Francisco, and they coordinate, and all their drivers are.
And it's against the flow of traffic. If you're coming from the South Bay and going, my parents used to live in Danville, and I would always have to time it to get it. But if you're at the right time of day, it doesn't take as long as you think it does.
No, it really isn't that bad.
Yeah. And someone asked, is anyone on the panel in these areas? Yes, Via West, who we were just talking to, they are in the Cupertino Hills. And so they are very local to this area, to the South Bay. And then I think several of our other programs are also local. But I would say for Quest, it's not that far. I used to drive it almost every day. Thank you very much, Robert. I really appreciate you being here.
We
Okay,
also have carpools available.
carpools. Oh, great. Fantastic. Okay, and then the next presenter is Janice Powell of Camp Edmo.
Hello, I am Janice. I am the region manager for Edmo for the Peninsula and the South Bay. So Burlingame all the way to Los Gatos is the area that I oversee, but we do have camps all over the Bay Area and in San Diego and Austin, Texas. I'm gonna share my screen really quick just to show a few different things. So we are ACA accredited. We also have a National Summer Learning Association award, and we've been a Bay Area family favorite for the past 11 years. Camp Edmo, we really focus on, this is our mission, equitable access for out-of-school learning opportunities that cultivate a sense of self, own their impact, and show up in the world with curiosity, courage, and kindness. And our values are inclusivity, authenticity, and connection. And so we try to instill all of these in everything that we do at Camp Edmo. We serve entering preschoolers all the way to 8th grade. And we have over 18 themes this summer that we have access to. They're split by age group. And so when you are registering, you'll be able to sign up for a particular theme. Some of them are science and arts and crafts themes. Others are technology themes, Roblox, Minecraft, those sorts of things, along with some of these other fun things, cultural creations, digital animation studio. And these themes all run week to week. And our pricing is also week to week. So for instance, this is the Palo Alto site right here, their registration page. We're currently running early bird specials. So all of our programs are currently cut in pricing. But the full price after our early bird specials end is $394. But that also depends on the age group and on the theme that we're running. And so all that information is on here as well. We also do offer a very easy financial assistance program that once you fill it out, you'll receive like a response and a code almost immediately to be able to provide financial assistance if you should want that. And I also wanted to make sure to talk about our campuses. So we rent schools most of the time as our campuses. All of them are accessible, and you're also able to reach out to us before camp to come and tour the sites that we will be at. In addition to meeting the staff, we also do staff meet and greets, and all you have to do is email us. We'll do staff meet and greets with you. You can meet your child's instructor, counselor, the camp director, and get more information about the site specifically, along with any needs that we might be able to provide. And so that includes COVID policies. So while we do require every child to wear a face mask, we are also able to work with people. We can do face shields. In some cases, with doctor's notes, we will work it out where children do not have to wear a mask on site, but all of our staff are fully vaccinated, including a booster shot as well. And we do temperature checks and all of those things as well. But I will say our COVID policies change. Sometimes they get stricter depending on where we're at in COVID. Sometimes they get a little bit more relaxed depending on where we're at COVID. So I can't tell you exactly what it's gonna look like in a few months. But we do have that. I see the question in the chat about allowing an aide to come. Yes, we do. Any child that requires an aide at school, we require them to have an aide at camp also. But outside of the aid, the only other thing that Edmo requires is that all children are potty trained. And that is Edmo. Please let me know if you have any questions.
And again, you can put those questions in the chat or go ahead and unmute yourself and ask. Either is fine. I know I really like the Edmo organization. They were you guys were a lifesaver with your online camps that summer of 2020 when it was like, oh my gosh, we have nothing to do. What are we going to do? And you guys hire some great people. I know for the online stuff, I look forward to signing my daughter up for some in-person camps because I really think you guys do a fantastic job.
We'll also be running our online camps this summer as well. And we also offer one-on-one like coaching style. So camp just one-on-one for kids.
That's a really great option to hear about. And like my daughter really developed an interest in coding because of working with someone at Camp Edmo. And so she's still doing coding classes to this day at 9. So, I love you guys. You're awesome. Are there any other questions for Janice? Okay, well, thank you very much to Camp Edmo and to Janice for being here. Our next presenter will be Jackie Montero from Tuolumne Trails.
Great, thank you. I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so we are Camp Tuolumne Trails. We are a nonprofit summer camp for individuals with disabilities. Our mission statement is that we are devoted to helping those with special needs and those who support them by providing an accommodating environment for healing, respite, education, and recreation. We did open in 2008, so we are a fairly new camp. And when we opened primarily as a camp for children with serious illness. And since we've been open and running, we have definitely expanded that. We did find that in the county that we are in, Tuolumne County, it's a little bit more rural, and we do have a lot of retired folks in our community, which means we have a lot of aging caregivers. So we have expanded our programs to also include adults with special needs and disabilities. We don't have any age maximums on any of our programs. So we have campers in their 70s who are still coming to camp and really do consider us a second home for the summer. And we really do believe that having a consistent place to come back to every summer is very important. So we're definitely happy to have those programs available. We also don't have any restrictions on who can come to camp, depending on diagnosis. So about 48% of our campers are physically disabled, and the other 52%, I believe, are have some kind of developmental disability or intellectual disability. In our summer programming, anything that you could think of doing at a typical summer camp, we do at Camp Tuolumne Trails. We just make sure that everything is accessible for all of our campers and all abilities. So we do a lot of traditional camp crafts like arts and crafts, gold panning, field games, archery, swimming, and a lot more. We are super excited to have regular programming again. It has been a couple of years, so we're very, very excited. We do have 6 fully ADA accessible cabins on site. Campers do sleep in cabins with their counselors in a 3-to-1 ratio, but we also do have 1-to-1 ratio available for our campers. We also do have ADA accessible bathrooms, showers, and all of that. And for our summer staffing, we do look for dynamic adults who are interested in the outdoors, as well as a sincere interest in working with our campers. Prior to the start of our summer sessions, we provide 10 days of staff training for our counselors and all of our supervisors and program leads. And that includes personal care, lifting and transferring, behavioral management, food safety, CPR, first aid, and epinephrine training, as well as inclusion and training in specific program areas, including supports and modifications for all campers. In addition to that, we also do keep a registered nurse on site 24 hours a day when camp is in session, and they are responsible for all medication distribution, documentation, and any first aid that happens on site. This is our summer sessions for the upcoming summer season. One thing that we noticed when we were attending a few of these kinds of virtual fairs in the last year and a half is that we were approached by a lot of families who had younger children, and they were looking for childcare or for some kind of summer programming for them. And they weren't old enough to come to our youth session. So our youth session is our session 3, ages 7 to 17. So what we've done this summer is also include a family camp. So there is no age restrictions for that camp, which means that an entire family can come together. So it's a really good opportunity for any families whose children are younger than 7 or haven't done a camp program before and might be anxious about being away from home for the first time, or if a family is just looking for an accessible environment to have a vacation in. I'd encourage you to look at that option. There's a lot more information about our sessions on our website, which is tuolumnetrails.org. You're also welcome to email me. Whenever we have any new campers, we do intakes with them. So any questions that you might have, I would love to hear them. You can definitely reach out to me. My email is at the bottom of the screen on this PowerPoint here, so you're welcome to reach out there. Great, thank you. And Tuolumne Trails is located in Groveland, California. So we are a little bit farther away. We're about a half hour away from Yosemite National Park. So it's a beautiful area. We're in the Sierra foothills. We do have a lot of campers who come from the Bay Area. It is a little bit more of a drive, but we have found that it also is really great respite for parents. So they might go camping while their kids are at camp as well. We are also vendored with Regional Center.
That was my next question.
Great.
So great anticipation. Thank you for the great presentation. It's a beautiful area up there in Groveland. So I'm sure it's just an amazing experience. And again, any of the details for any of the providers here is in the handbook. The link for the handbook is in the chat. It will also be posted high up on our website, the Supple One CAC website. Does anyone else have any questions for Jackie?
I did also want to mention, I'm sorry, that we do have last year's COVID procedures listed on our website. It's at the top of our options bar, so you'll be able to see it there. We haven't released any procedures for the upcoming summer. It's a little bit early, and we definitely know that things are going to change, but we're expecting to update those soon.
Okay, thanks very much for clearing that up. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and we will have another open question session at the end. In the meantime, I'd like to welcome Animal Assisted Happiness with Andrea Mays. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Moss. But hi, everybody. I'm Andrea. I'm the current executive director at Animal Assisted Happiness. I also can share my screen just briefly. Sorry, I prefer present mode. There we go. So we're Animal Assisted Happiness, and our mission is to enrich the lives of youth with need through barnyard animal interactions. We serve youth with developmental disabilities, physical disabilities, as well as social emotional youth who might have experienced social emotional trauma. And we do that all through our barnyard animal interactions. Sorry, There we go. Can you see that? Did that advance? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Yes, thank you, Kirsten. Our organization was inspired by what seemed like a simple visit between a small horse named Lollipop, who's currently still at the Smile Farm, and a young girl who was suffering from terminal brain cancer named Riley. And Lollipop magically went into her house and spent about an hour and a half with her. And at that moment, our founders, Vicky Amon Higa and Peter Higa, knew that they could do more with the small barnyard that they had in their backyard, helping youth who had some kind of challenges or needs. The organization was started in 2009. In 2017, we landed at our current home in the Baylands Park. It's called the Animal Assisted Happiness Smile Farm. Baylands Park is located just at the end of Caribbean Drive in Sunnyvale, thanks to a partnership with the city of Sunnyvale. And we're kind of, when you drive into the park, just to the left, if you've been there, we kind of revitalized that side of the park for them. And we're continuing towards our vision of creating 1 million smiles. This year, we've reached just over 75,000 smiles, and we measure each of our animal visits by a smile. What makes AH unique is that we provide services to families who have youth with needs free of charge. Of course, we do accept donations. We do this through our barnyard animals, which is a mixture of mini horses, goats, sheep, bunnies, a tortoise, guinea pigs, chickens, some ducks. We have a couple really nice aviaries if you come to the farm. So uniquely barnyard animals for sure, which, in this area, not a lot of people have a lot of experience with, or at least opportunity to interact with barnyard animals. A lot of us probably have pets, but there's nothing like the little eyes of a goat to kind of melt your heart a little bit. We do personalized family visits, which are just that. They're very personalized. The farm is generally quite quiet. So if you have a child who prefers a quieter space, there's no large crowds, there's no distractions. It's done entirely self-paced and at the discretion of the family who's visiting. Our staff is very skilled at sensing how a child is on the farm, whether they're raring to go, whether they want to just sit in the dirt, whether they want to, see all the animals first and then go back, or they want to spend all their time with one animal. Whatever the child wants is how we craft the visits. We do have other programs. So unlike all the providers here, we don't have any specific summer camps at this time. We do partner with a few of the organizations here. So if you're at their camps, you may, thank you via services, you may see one of our mobile barnyard visits. We take our mobile during the school year primarily. We take the smaller animals, which does include usually a goat or two, out to schools, hospitals, and other programs for kids with need. We also provide vocational education at the Smile Farm, as well as classroom visits at the Smile Farm. And a big part of our organization is our youth volunteers who support all of our programs. And that includes youth of all abilities. So if you have young people in your lives with developmental disabilities, but who may feel more confident and able to help around the farm, as long as they come with whatever supports that they personally need, they're welcome to come. If you have somebody, the farm is fully ADA accessible, so somebody in a wheelchair is able to come and volunteer alongside able-bodied folks. This is a little bit more about our Smile Farm. It's a 2.5 acre farm. It is really a place that has a very whimsical and warm and welcoming feeling. There's just sort of like this sense of peace when you come onto the farm, which those of us, we're all like, caught up in Silicon Valley, and there just seems to be just a sense of calm and peace on the farm that is wonderful for everybody who visits. We have much of what is there at the farm has been created by our youth groups, youth volunteer groups, such as the Scouts, the service leagues, and that helps kind of the place be really accessible for other kids, right? So it's space is created by youth for other youth. And frequently during our visits, we will have our youth volunteers. Over 60% of our volunteers are actually teens themselves. They will also be helping with our visits. So it's great for kids to be connecting with other kids who are their own age. If you'd like to schedule a visit, so we would welcome you in between your busy summer camps, or if you have family visiting, we'd love to welcome you to schedule a private visit. Nicole Puccinelli, who is on the call this evening, if she wants to unmute and raise her hand.
Hello. Hi.
She is the person you would contact to schedule a private visit, and she schedules that based on our availability and mutually convenient times. Private visits they last for an hour, and as we said, they are free of charge. You may also visit us during public open hours, which is every Tuesday from 1 to 5 p.m. and the second Sunday of the month from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I would say on Sundays, the afternoon is quieter if you'd like a quieter experience. On Tuesdays during the school year are generally quieter. In the summer times, they can be a bit busier. The earlier in that time is generally a little quieter as well, because then a lot of the very little kids are home still napping or finishing their lunches before they come to the farm. But it is a 2.5 acre space, so really crowded, doesn't usually even feel all that crowded. Because there's a lot of space to spread out. And during the public open hours, you get to interact with animals. You can actually pet our chickens, pet our guinea pigs, and pet our bunnies. Sometimes there will definitely be volunteers around to help you visit with some of the larger animals. You can't go into their pens, but sometimes we'll take a goat or one of the horses out to visit with our guests as they come. And then, of course, like I said, there's volunteer opportunities if you'd like, and that information is all on our website. So we hope that you will come and experience the smiles that only animals can bring. That's our website. In the packet is Nicole's information if you'd like to schedule a private visit, as well as just a general info email if you have other questions for us. Nicole, I don't know if there's anything that I missed that you wanted to add.
No, if you would like to see the farm, we also offer a virtual tour on the website. It's just like a little self-guided tour. We have also done virtual visits for schools and different organizations. So if you can't be, in this uncertainty that we have the last few weeks, if you wanted to try something out like that, we can offer virtual visits.
Great. I forgot about our virtual visits, of course. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Andrea and Nicole. Fantastic presentation. And again, I have a personal experience. Way back when you used to be in somebody's backyard, I took my son, and although he is not a big animal person, he really did have a good time. He particularly liked the chickens. So you guys do amazing work. So thank you so much for being there. And does anyone have any questions for animal assisted happiness? You got a couple of shout outs from other providers. But so again, I know that you do work with several, so which is just fantastic. So I'm just so happy that we have you in our area. I know you've really helped a lot of kids, so thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions later, feel free to put them in the chat, or we'll be opening it up to general questions at the end. I believe our last presenter, unless I have missed somebody, is Lauren Levinson from Friendship Circle.
Hi, thank you. While I'm getting this set up, I would give one more shout out to Animal Assisted Happiness also, since they were at our program on Sunday. So you guys are awesome. I'm Lauren. I'm the program director of the Bay Area Friendship Circle. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about our summer camp today. So Friendship Circle is a program for children, teens, and young adults with special needs. At every single one of our programs, the children participants are paired up one-to-one with a high school volunteer who they're with throughout the entire program. And that teen volunteer provides friendship and support to their buddy. We do all sorts of fun activities together. We have programs throughout the year. We have our summer camp as well. We have visits from Animal Assisted Happiness. We have bubble shows, magic shows, music, dance, art, all sorts of different activities that the campers do together with their buddies. And our programs are not therapeutic in nature. They're really just for fun and for friendship and for support. So like I said, we have programs throughout the year. Actually, Animal Assisted Happiness is actually featured right here, one of their buddies. They're all over the place. So we have programs for 3 and 4-year-olds. These are our programs that happen during the year. We have our Sunday Circle, our biggest program for ages 5 through 19, and our Young Adult Circle for 20 through 30-year-olds who have kind of graduated out of our Sunday Circle and have their own program. We have a winter camp and a summer camp. We have a walkathon every year. We have family programs, and we have lots of special events. So there's a lot of different things to get involved with, but I'll primarily talk to you about our summer camp today. So a little bit more about what it's like for participants to have a volunteer buddy. So every single participant has that teen volunteer who they stay with throughout the entire program. Our volunteers are all high school students, and they're trained before they get started with our programs throughout the year. Their training also continues throughout the year of programs. So for our summer camp, for example, our volunteers would come 30 minutes before and stay 30 minutes after to continue their training. High school volunteers and campers are matched based on their interests, their experiences, and their preferences. If we have a camper that is really into music, we try to find a talented musician as a high schooler who can be their buddy. Over here, we had a camper really interested in violin, and this awesome volunteer brought their violin so their buddy could play with them. Volunteers are kind of the basis of our programs. They're the ones, since every single person is matched up one-to-one, those volunteers provide friendship and support, and our campers love getting that one-on-one attention. Our volunteers are really able to build relationships with their families. A lot of volunteers stick with that same buddy for a couple of years or, throughout their whole time in high school. And while our programs are not therapeutic in nature, we do have between 1 and 3 therapists, depending on the size of our program, who are there at every single program to provide additional support and to facilitate relationships between buddies and between peers. So this is a little video of our winter camp a couple weeks ago. Some of our buddies enjoying a dance party together. So summer camp experience at Friendship Circle, what would that be like? So, buddies and participants will be able to make lasting friendships, lasting relationships between both the buddies, volunteer buddies, and between peers. We have tons of different exciting activities that we do together, from bubble show, magic show, yoga, sports. We're going to be going on field trips, hopefully again this year. COVID is okay. Our facilities that we use are right next to Achieve Kids, which is right next to Magical Bridge Playground. So we go over to Magical Bridge Playground each day. And we always hope that the kids will have a summer to remember with their buddies. So we have 2 sessions for camp this year, 2 weeks, last week of July and first week of August. So here's just a little sample schedule of what the activities look like. Our camp runs from 9:30 to 2:30 p.m. each day. And this is a sample schedule of what a field trip day might look like and what a day where we stay at camp, maybe a field trip over to Magical Bridge might look like. And again, I'm happy to share the slideshow as well. Here's a kind of a sample schedule of what our winter camp looked like, of our different activities that we held. And ways to get involved. So here's a link to the website if you're interested in registering. Every single family has an initial meeting with me where we can talk more about the program. I get to meet you, get to meet your child. And then after that, you would go ahead and register for specific programs. So here is my email address. I'll put that in the chat for everyone also, but definitely, let me know if you have any questions. Looking forward to meeting a lot of you.
All right, does anyone have any questions for Lauren? Feel free to put them in the chat. I have a question. I'm putting on another hat. I am a program support manager for Girl Scouts for Mountain View, and we have a lot of older girls. How do you register volunteers?
Oh, I will put our volunteer registration in the chat as well in case anyone is interested and has a teen that would like to volunteer too.
Thank you very much. Now, as far as I can tell, that was all of the providers that are here. I know I just got an email from 2 different providers with a family. One said family emergency, one said COVID is in their house. It's just, that's how ubiquitous COVID is right now. Let us hope everything is all right with both of them. But those details are in our handbook. And I just very briefly wanted to let you know about additional resources. Actually, we do have a question. What are the background of the therapists? So the therapists at your camps, what are the background of the therapists?
We have mostly speech language therapists that work in schools, and we have an occupational therapist as well.
And then the next question is the summer camp different for young kids versus young adults?
Oh, great question. So we do have a wide age range that's at our summer camps, and the kids are broken up into 2 groups. We have a younger group and an older group. Some of the activities are done all together, and others will be kind of broken up by age range.
Okay. Any other questions? I don't see anybody. All right. Thank you very much, Lauren. Very much appreciated. I'm gonna say one more thing real fast. I'm gonna share my screen. And I wanted to let everybody know about our local resource guide. This is actually about to become the 2022 local resource guide. Volunteers are in the process of actually double checking all of our entries to make sure they're still in business, that all the information is still accurate. But this is our local resource guide that you can get from our website, or tinyurl.com/local resource guide, which is reasonably easy to remember. But I will put it in the chat as well. But you can click on our guide and look up recreation, and it will take you to our recreation section, which includes all of the providers here, as well as many more who were unable to make it. Anything that has a gray bar on it has been double checked that is consistent. We're waiting for answers back from some of the other groups. But as you can see, there's a lot of additional resources available on our website. But of course, I absolutely adore all of the providers who are here right now. We also have a separate link for summer camps, as well as, I hope I don't give anybody a headache by doing this, lots of other options: art and music therapy, occupational therapy, mindfulness resources, government organizations. It's all in here. Volunteers have worked on this on and off for years, and we do try to, it's a living document. It's being updated whenever a new resource, we become aware of a new resource. So that's it for now. I am actually going to be turning off the recording. So if anyone has a specific question on their own situation, now would be the time to ask that. And I want to thank all the providers. This is for the recording. Thanks all of you for creating such wonderful opportunities for our kids.